Hello everybody, welcome to the Scorpion Engine Ultra Beginners Guide. Today we're doing tutorial number 3, which is going to be audio. So prerequisite for this is you need to have done tutorials 1 and 2. So if you haven't done those, go back and do those and then come back here and then we'll get into it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to copy input commands. That's going to be the starting point for this project, and we're going to rename it to 03 audio. Alright, now we've done that, we're going to crack open SFXR and create an explosion sound effect. So just keep clicking on the explosion button until you found an explosion sound you like. Pump up the volume, which is the volume slider behaves a bit weird, you've got to keep clicking on it and then make it go longer, increase your decay time, and then export that as a WAV file. Okay, so the next thing, we're going to get our music track, which is a VGM file. We're going to copy that into our project. So the whole process of creating your own music is covered in the next video, which goes for about half an hour. So I haven't included it in here, but if you do want to get into that, that's going to be in the next video. Otherwise, you can download a VGM off the internet or take one from one of the Scorpion editor demos and put it into your project. Anyway, we're going to remove the released commands from our project. So before we had on press, on release, we're going to strip it down to up pressed and down pressed instead of having the release commands in there. When up is pressed, we're going to play some music. And we're going to change the message that appears to music started. And then we'll go to audio and music, load and play a song. We haven't got the music in there yet, so we can't see it. We're going to change our sound driver to XGM. We still can't see it, although we can see our explosion sound. So we're going to close the project and reopen it. And when we do that, it's going to scan our project folder for music files. It doesn't matter where they are, it'll just find it. But if you want to be clean and tidy, you'll put it in its nice own little folder. But here we go, music track. Play song, music track. On the event down pressed, we're going to, I think, pause the playback of the music. So I've attempted to add other commands like turn the volume up, turn it down. Those are not supported for VGM files, so I've left them out of this. But it might work, say, if you're doing an Amiga project and you're playing a mod file or something like that. I think they work in some situations and not in others. Delete some unnecessary lines here. And the next thing we're going to do at the beginning is set the music channels. And then we'll start the music off, and we could put another command to set the music playing, but since we're lazy, we're going to put in an inline code block to uppressed and just use that. And here we go, the music started. It's a bit slow because I've got the region set to PAL instead of NTSC, so it's playing at 50 frames instead of 60 frames. So it's still 50 frames, so I think we've got to go out and go back in. We'll see what happens. So that's a bit more upbeat. The other tune that I made for this set of tutorials, it's more designed to be at PAL 50 frames, so depends what you want to do. Okay, we'll add an event to the start button. We'll call that start pressed. When that button gets pressed, we're going to play the explosion sound. So still in the audio section. Oh, hold on, we'll write a message saying sound played. Okay, in the audio section, play sound. And it's sitting there ready for us to choose, so we'll crank that up. And let's not forget to bind our start pressed event to our button so it does something. There we go. So we notice that sometimes the sound is not triggering. We'll go to our explosion sound, we'll pump up the priority a bit, set it to number 9. And try again. Okay, so you would have noticed that at some points the explosions sound completely stop the background music from happening. So maybe I've got a bit carried away with setting that priority to 9. Maybe it should have been 4 or 5 or something. Also, maybe I shouldn't have disabled those other 2 audio channels at the in the channel settings. But at any rate, that's a demo of getting music playing and sound samples playing. Next, we're going to cover the other sound driver for the Mega Drive Genesis. Okay, so we're going to change our sound driver to MD-SDRV, which I'm assuming means Mega Drive sound driver. And then we close the project. And we're going to grab some MML music out of the Amigo the Fox demo project that you'll find in your Scorpion editor folders. Go song.mml, let's copy that, put it into our project. And then open up the project again. And then you'll see it. But we've lost our explosion, which we're going to import as an MML. So now that's there. We've got a switch around our music track in the code area. So I've sped this bit up, trying to figure out why I can't add it. Try closing the project, opening it, and so on. But eventually I remembered what you got to do is go to your audio tab, and there's a checkbox for is music. We'll set that on, and then you should be able to load and play it like we've just done there. Okay, so only uprest had to change, everything else stays the same. And then we open it up. Okay, so you would have noticed that the explosion sound, it actually only played the beginning of it, and that was to do with the warning that we briefly saw flash up when we imported the WAV file. The WAV file only 30Ks is supported, and our WAV file is 110K, so we just got the beginning of the explosion sound instead of the whole thing. Next, we're going to open up this MML file, which is actually a text file, and we'll have a look at it. Okay, so there we go. Got the instruments. Got a bunch of things. Good luck with reverse engineering all of this stuff and trying to create your own music with it. I've read about people writing MML trackers, but at this point in time it's just talk. I don't believe there is an MML tracker that lets you create MML music files in a GUI type of situation. So what I'm doing now is rolling it back to XGM. My money is on XGM for the reasons that we've just outlined just now.